flexible working is still the top priority.
For the first time, menopause policy is emerging as a bigger issue, and for Gemma Lloyd, pay transparency is the most important. The gender equity-focused job platform, WORK180, commissioned the report, and its co-founder and CEO, Gemma Lloyd, is with us now. Gemma, good morning.
Hey, Gemma.
Welcome to the program. Just tell us a little bit about how you went about the report before we kind of dive into what you found.
Yeah, sure. Well, this is a report that we do every year out to our community of women, and we survey them on quite a lot of questions around what they're looking for, both quantitative and qualitative questions. Now, with that information, we also dive down into the demographic of women. So we've got an intersectional lens across everything we do, making sure we segment the data by race and ethnicity, LGBT, etc.
Now, when we talk about flexible work, what sort of flexible work practices are the most desired?
Yeah, well, of course, work from home is one that we all know about, but also things like compressed working week. So that's where you'll do your 5 days a week, but compressed into 4. There might be different start-finish times or different rosters. What's really pleasing to see is employers start to move away from this notion that flexible work is only for parents. You know, it's really for everyone. So whether it's sporting commitments or you're caring for aging parents, or even you just want to work at the times that are optimal for you.
Talk about menopause policy. You seeing that become more important?
Absolutely. I mean, 25% of the workforce are experiencing menopausal symptoms at any one time, and that awareness is slowly increasing. Now, the interesting thing about menopause is it's not something we ever spoke about at home, let alone in the workplace. So step one is there needs to be a lot of education around menopause.
Sure.
But what we're seeing, so within our employer hub, the menopause policy template is the 3rd most downloaded resource. So this tells me there's a real intent there by employees to start supporting women with menopause.
Is there much evidence of employees doing this in practice?
All of them. Amongst our cohort, there's about 19%. So there's a long way to go. The UK has been doing this for a lot longer than Australia, so they're leading the way, but we're getting there.
Can I ask you about the different approaches or thoughts from the different age groups that you looked at, and especially about pay equity and whether younger women are prepared to sign up to a company when they know that they can see there is not pay equity there?
Great question. So 86% of respondents said they wanted to see what employees are doing to close their gender pay gaps, and 56% of respondents said they would not apply for a new role if the job ad didn't have its salary transparent on the job ad itself. So with the pay gap legislation coming into play on the 27th of February, the awareness there, again, is really increasing. And so people just want to know that they're going to be paid fairly.
And how big a game changer do you reckon the legislation will be once it's formally brought in?
I think it'll be huge because there's a lot of misunderstanding around what the pay gap actually is. So it is illegal in Australia to pay people differently for the same job. It's not about that. The pay gap is representative of more men essentially in leadership roles, in higher paying roles, or in more technical positions, and women in more lower paying roles. So it's really an indication that there's more systemic issues at play.
Given that you've done this report many times, what's your sense about it? Did you come away thinking, I'm feeling positive, things are moving in the right direction, or not?
Look, the report doesn't fill me with that much hope itself, because there is still so many women out there. For example, women over the age of 56 said that they don't feel like they can bring themselves to work. These women are essentially feeling invisible in the workplace. That's a really big problem. What does fill me with hope, though, is seeing the progress that we're making with employers and tracking all of those changes that we're doing, and seeing this real focus on transparency, on honesty, and on progress over perfection, and just saying this is where we're at, but these are the changes that we're going to make.
Gemma Lloyd, great to have you on the program.
Thank you in for a chat. Thank you.
Well, the 2024 Adelaide Fringe Festival is kicked off with an opening weekend at incredible